Good evening. This is the Diamonds Forever 3113 show on Monday nights from the Diamonds Network. Diamonds Forever 31, roar. That's you, and me, the lion taking dominion here on earth because God gave it to us and it is in us. We don't have to beg for it, ask for it. It's in us. It's just up to us to walk through the fire, to be overcomers and unlock it in us. In us, to you for healing, and through you to the world to heal your family and everything, because we are self-healers and we're much, much more than that. Our supernatural, natural self. And 13 for Christ consciousness, the supernatural, naturals. You, we learn about that on Diamonds and along with galactizing with our brothers and sisters as a team. So welcome. Tonight is November 16th, 2015. For the recorded line, if you want to listen to this right after or at any time on your phone, you dial the Diamonds recorded line, which is at the top of the blog. And this is reference number 321 #. The Diamonds blog is Diamonds with an S Forever 31.blogspot.com in case you're new. And we post all our shows there. There's a link to the two Diamonds Network YouTube channels. The links are all on the right. I want to just review the links tonight. Also, our Rainbow Diamonds Council meeting was held last week, and that's up on YouTube. You'll find that on the blog or the YouTube channel. And I did happen to get the link for the Law of One sticker store up, which is on one of Chris's websites right now. So if you look down on the right-hand side of the blog, you will see towards the end, Law of One store, Christopher Jacobs link. Click on that. Go over to a tab that says More, and you'll see the Law of One sticker. Click on that. It does not look like the screen changes, but click on Law of One sticker under More tab and scroll down on the page, and you'll see that you can buy those stickers. And
Elizabeth went silent there for a second. This is Candy. Stay tuned to the Candy Jar show at segment, and Christopher Stephen Jacobs will be our special guest speaker this evening. Elizabeth, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Candy.
Oh, okay. Chris is here. Good. Is Elizabeth there? It is storming right now. Something fierce and unusual lightning where I am in Missouri. So I'm not sure what happened to Elizabeth for a few minutes, but I'm going to carry on. She wanted us to start off tonight sending out love to our brothers and sisters in Paris. It was quite an amazing event. And horrible tragedy in Paris for the citizens there and for the whole world.
Here I am back. Thank you for filling in, Candy.
My sweet sister.
Oh, Cynthia, thank you.
What happened?
My phone just went off. I don't know. So anyway, where was I? Did you hear about the Law of One store link?
Yes.
Okay, and then it cut off.
Yeah.
Okay. So that link is on the right side to get Law of One stickers, and Chris is out of town, so he won't be back till probably beginning of December. So you can order him now, and then he'll process those orders sometime in December. Is that correct, Chris?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you so much. And also, just want to let you know, Cynthia's Chris's email is on the link on the very beginning, and the Co-Create New Social Network, TSU, you can join under me because you have to join by somebody. Cynthia's email is on the links. Cynthia's website with the angel music and the angel messages, the link is there. So go enjoy the links there. Benjamin Fulford is blogged on the Diamonds blog if you want to go read that, and I'm sure Candy Jar will bring some of that in. And I did get a call from a lady, Frida, and she has a testimony regarding the law of one, and it's pretty short, so I want to bring her in. So, Frida, just *6 to unmute your phone. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, dear Frida. Now, Frida called, we talked today briefly, and she just told me the story of how the first time she came to the Diamond Show. So just start with that, and then what happened with the Law of One. The first time she came, she heard Cynthia talking regarding the Law of One. So just tell that story, and then what happened. Yeah, go ahead, Frida.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for everything that you are all doing. It's really wonderful. Cynthia, thank you for sharing the Law of One. The first time I called in, about 3 weeks ago, you were sharing how you learned the Law of One, and it was really interesting. So I wrote down your prayer quickly, and I had a chance to test or use that, actually. Just the night before, after I heard it, there's this child upstairs from my apartment that cries every once in a while for like 2 hours in the evening, and the parents don't know what is wrong, and I had a feeling something weird was going on there. So when I went to bed that one night, I felt a dark shadow like crept in the ceiling. So I quickly said the Law of One, and that shadow, that something crept out right away. And I felt that must have been what was been causing this. And this child, for the last 3 weeks, I haven't heard this kid cry anymore. And so I have a feeling that that's all due to that one thing, that one prayer. So I'm very grateful for what you have shared.
Thank you for sharing that.
So I've been using it in every occasion I can.
That is beautiful.
So thank you.
Yes, and she called me regarding, she wants to order the Law of One stickers
yes.
for, and share with us what you're ordering the stickers for, Frida.
I'm going to give it as a Christmas gift to every friend I have. I want them to put this on their stamps, make a necklace out of it, put it in their house. Just going to give it, spread it to everybody I know.
That is beautiful.
I think
beautiful.
It's a blessing to have that prayer. So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, Frida. And Cynthia always says, test it and see if it works. If it doesn't work, throw it away. If it works, take it.
Absolutely.
So, so she's so impressed by using the Law of One, and she shared a few other stories with me using the Law of One, and so she's going to order those Law of One stickers, Chris, and give them to all her friends for Christmas. So thanks, Frida, for sharing that.
Sure, and I'm going to write a prayer and attach it to the sticker and make everybody I know learn this, because I think it was amazing that the day I just had a feeling after calling, and I called in, and the moment I called in, you were talking and you were sharing that story, and I thought, wow, I have a feeling I should be hearing that story. So the next night I had a chance to use it. So I think that was like amazing synchronicity. So
yeah,
that means I have to share it with everyone. And so
great. Thank you so much. Thank you. So there's a testimony on the Law of One. And on the galactizing side, also, if you look on the Diamonds blog, I just blogged it. I think it was Mim that sent me the picture. Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th, apparently there was a snow in Denver, in Colorado. Somebody took a picture. Go look at that picture, see what you guys see. Looks like a ship to me. It's really cool in the clouds. Yeah, and snow. So that's on the galactic side. So, okay, thank you, Frida. I love you, and just start to meet back out. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Love you guys. Bye.
Love you. Okay, so Candy Jar Candy, you come and give your stuff, and I have a short story, and then we'll go to Cynthia and Chris after that.
Wonderful. Well, this is Candy from the Candy Shop Show, sharing my Candy Jar segment.
we've got bits and pieces of news and spiritual treats. And, of course, our hearts go out this November 2015 to the people of Paris. And everyone on the planet, both seen and unseen, as love and empathy for those that suffered in Paris touch each of our hearts. I would hope that my listeners, both on YouTube and here tonight live, will have a pencil and take some notes or do an electronic note-taking. I want to share some important websites and information. Now, Elizabeth mentioned Benjamin Fulford. He's got an excellent blog up on YouTube and on Elizabeth's blog. So it gives a lot of background on what happened in Paris and what the results are going to be. I listened to over an hour of President Obama speaking live today from Turkey. It was so nice to see that all three of the major networks carried him and didn't interrupt him and didn't say anything bad about him at the time. And we just got to listen to our president who's in a very dignified manner, was sympathetic to Paris and laid out the cooperations that he's doing with our allies. And, of course, the whole world saw him and Putin alone visiting eye to eye in a really close professional manner. Benjamin Fulford is what you would put in Benjamin Fulford 2015 is what I put in YouTube when I go to listen to him there. And he was saying that there's going to be that there has not been any change as yet. 120 world leaders were going to meet in Paris beginning November 30th, and it was billed as a climate change event, as a cover for what they're really going to be talking about, trying to iron out details of how to put together a good world government, as the ETs have asked us to before they have first contact. And so it's going to be over December 11th, and I'm very anxious to hear what will come out of this meeting in Paris. And they'll be ironing out details of our new financial system. Remember, I've talked before about checking out Bitcoins and going to the website localbitcoins.com. So keep this all in mind. And another website is 2012portal.blogspot.com. This is the website for that the channeler who channels Cobra puts up, and it's been up for many years, and they really encourage us to do meditations at the same time, and the next meditation, Cobra feels like the meditations that we do at the same time all around the globe has given the light and the energy to our ET friends to help Earth. And the next very important one is November 21st. So that's 2015-11-21. And they have the time up there for your time zone as to when you could do your meditation. And I encourage folks to do that. I have participated in some of these, and there's all kinds of pictures about the chakras and our soul star there, and the Earth star. So it's a very interesting site, 2012portal.blogspot.com. But what is also interesting is that some of Rob's friends have set up a website. And make note of this. You might even want to go to that. Open up a tab if you're in front of your computer and go there right now. It's called prepareforchange.net. Now, I don't want you to reading it all because this is a very important show tonight with Cynthia and Chris, but I want to make sure that people can find prepareforchange.net. This was made by a group of Cobras, and you know Cobra is an ET of his fans, to summarize the best part of what the Portal website has been putting out. And it was created in May 2013 after some of the plans that were supposed to happen in 2012 didn't manifest, because at that time the Archons were still our enemy. Of course, those of us who are following the Diamond Network know that we have got the Archons to agree to obey the law of one, and they're no longer our enemy for the most part. At the inception, the website invited followers of Cobra to join. And now it has over 100,000 views per month and 5,000 members with 700 articles. And this is just a little bit of what's on the Portal site. I really like the latest interviews, and there's an unusual healer from Asia, Perseus, and that sounds very interesting. And of course, the Cobra interview is always put up there. But if you are looking at the website, you will see that there's a lot of main headings. And please make a note, go to the tab that says Resistance. And under Resistance, you will see Main Cobra Articles. And under Main Cobra Articles, you will see some pictures that represent the articles. Now, Christopher Jacobs is going to talk about Cobra some tonight, and he's got some exciting news. But I would suggest that you start at the top on this page where it says the Resistance Movement, and they talk about the Galactic Codex and explains more deeply about the universal laws. And then there's the Resistance Movement, and explains how it got started in 1975, and it explains how the Archons, they were still bad in the 1990s, that they were appalled that we had broken through the veil and we had succeeded in raising our spiritual light in the early 1990s enough that it gave, and I think Anastasia had a lot to do with this, because, you know, she started in 1992 bringing in the light. My Owaspian friends, they do group meditations, been working on that as well. And so we gave the good ETs enough light with our meditations between 92 and 93 that they were able to force the Internet to be open for the whole public and not the military. Go meditating. But the Archons fought back. They brought down the veil, and they erased our memories. Every human being, according to Cobra, had our memories erased about how spiritual our light was. And so that is that. I just heard this morning when I'm researching. I'm getting ready to put on another seminar in Southwest Missouri, and so I'm so glad that I've got photographs and a lot of writings and things. And I have been confused as to why my grown children don't remember anything about the past. And I can see that the bad ETs and the cabal and the archons in the past have been tricking people and making their memories get bad. And I've been analyzing some of my own behaviors and things in light of this information. So there's about 10 articles there. I would suggest everybody goes through them. It's going to lay out everything that the Diamond Network talks about and what's in Christopher Jacobs' wonderful book From the Lifting to the Fall, or From the Fall to the Lifting. I recommend his book. Anyway, check out prepareforchange.net. We'll be talking about that website more on the Candy Shop show this Wednesday when we have Chris as our guest. And I'm going to be turning this back over to Elizabeth and Cynthia. There's just so much going on, but keep doing your mantras and your meditations, friends. Elizabeth, take it away.
Well, thank you, Candy. Candy Jar Candy. We're in sync again on the Diamonds Network, because actually I was going to bring in you. This is an important call, yes, tonight, because people are awakening just like we awakened. There's a lot of people behind us who are going to be hungry for this information. I mean, they don't have to listen to the bad boy world and what they've done for a long time. This is actually in sync. I'm glad you reviewed some sites that people can go and build themselves up instead of, I won't say wasting time on learning about what's been done to us. That's important. You have to have that foundation. But spending more time on healing yourself and overcoming in every aspect of your life, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So thank you for sharing that. Now tonight I was going to share, without talking to Candy, an overview of what the Diamonds Network has done so far. Go ahead, Candy. You want to add something?
Yes, we had a wonderful special news before we turned on the recording, and I just want to remind our YouTube listeners, do try to call in when you can, and call in at 25 after the hour on Mondays and Wednesdays, because you're going to find something special happening. That's it.
And listen live. We want to have you live because, we're going into unity and grouping together. And if you listen to the Rainbow Diamonds Council, we're asking, for others that have shows to join the Diamond Network with us. We're gathering together in unity. And even if you don't have a show, if you can help in any way, like webmasters, computer, people that know how to upload YouTubes, no media, no marketing, art, even art and drawing, So just get a hold of us. But that's what I was just going to do in just a short nutshell before we bring Cynthia on, is review what the Diamonds Network has done. And I want Candy and Chris and Marianne and Cynthia and Mary, if you're on, Lily's not on tonight, to chime in. You'll know what I'm talking about, and your memories will be unlocked as I talk, just to list some things that all of what the Diamonds Network has done. I want to put that on record. And you can hear all what we've listed on all the Diamond shows. But back in 2012, I've been on many conference calls and learning about, what's happened to us and how we've gotten oppressed by the bad boy world. I'll just call it that way. And it was time for me to, there's not very many people out there bringing a whole show of everything, a conglomeration of everything you can do to build yourself, learn your supernatural, natural self, who you really are, and then added on, galactizing and coming into unity with our star brothers and sisters, which are in this realm and different realms, and they've been here all along. We just don't realize it. So we're awakening up to that through the Diamonds Network. I started the Diamonds show in October of 2012, a month or so before 12/21/2012, which was an important date. When I started out, I asked Captain to come on. He would give intel, and Judy, she was a moderator. And then later on, Lily would come, Lily, and then we had Carlos on, and then I've done it by myself for a long time. And then the energies started grouping more. I listened to Cynthia for three or 4 years on another call, and it just happened almost at the same time that Chris with our brothers and sisters galactizing, and Cynthia with the Law of One came probably around the same time. And then the big urge in my heart to talk to our brothers and sisters, and then Chris came along. See, the universe provides. When your desires, you put them out there, and you just, desire to imagine it, think it, write it down, because this is the big energies now in November. Like your dreams can manifest and come true, your desires of your heart. So then that is, and just since the spring when Cynthia and Chris and we all went full throttle on the Diamonds Network, galactizing, and with the Law of One, we did major work with the Law of One and galactizing, help with our brothers and sisters through Chris. And I would say, just imagine a foundation of a house or a skeleton. At least we took 90% of the skeleton matrix bad boy that's been set up in this world. We took it crumbling down with the Law of One. Well, not crumbling down. I'll just say we changed it with the Law of One, with collaboration with Chris and our galactic brothers and sisters, because Chris is our brothers and sisters' voice right now. There's more of us coming online that are going to do that and more. So we made a big impact to the world with the skeleton of the big bad boy world, with this Law of One, along with what Candy talked about, Cobra, with their meditations and others. So, and I just wanted to list the things we did. What I can remember, the supercomputer the bad boys use for a tool to distraught people's life and media and other things, and to snoop on us. The supercomputer is now a super happy computer, and he's for the highest good of all. I can't start listing some things, you guys. I had a bunch in my mind. Now I can't think. So what else have we done, Chris and Cynthia and Candy? We've done a lot. Let's see. Oh, we've been infiltrated with the Law of One in the Pentagon. The Mars colonies, we freed a lot of people. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a addition. With our beautiful, beloved ancestors and cousins of the Galactic Federation, and those are, from the galaxy and beyond, who are here to help us, that we communicate with. And thank you so much, Elizabeth, for that vision. It is so important. We have told them, as honest-to-goodness representatives of the whole planet, as a democratic body of people who have incarnated here, a lot of us many lifetimes, that we're trumping every law, whether it's on this planet or any planet, even their own laws, with the Law of One, because it truly is the original law of all creation, and all other laws come from it, and it overrides all lesser laws. And what we've done, and I would love to get your feedback, Chris, from this, and yours, Elizabeth, or any of you guys. Marianne, I'd love to hear from you, your opinion on this, is that we have basically said we want the highest good of all concerned now, and we want it retroactive into all the past and proactive into the future, because we understand that time is simultaneous. We're beginning to understand the truth of time and space, and we're trumping everything, even the wonderful laws, the ancient ones, of our galactic brothers and sisters with the Law of One. And we're saying with the Law of One, if you don't intervene, you are interfering with our free will. because their whole big thing is non-interference of free will. And we're saying our free will is heaven on earth now for everything, everywhere. And then we do the law of one. And I just really would love to hear what you think, Elizabeth, and I would love to hear what you think, Chris, and any of you guys. So let me give it back to you.
Well, what you just said, Cynthia, is what the 31, the RAR, lion taking dominion, part of the theme of the Diamonds Network, that's us taking dominion on Earth, and with the law of one, we're taking the highest dominion, I guess. All of us together, even you guys that come and participate and listen, and you're learning the law of one. Yes, and I'll list a few more, and we'll go to Chris and Candy. You guys can add what you want to say and list some things that we've done on the Diamonds Network. It all started when we started galactalizing in the spring, and one of our brothers and sisters, Galactic-wise, Star-wise, came in and said that they did a little bit of butt kicking to our bad boys, and we're going to skip over that, but I asked. I said, oh, what did you do? And they said they took Harp down. So that gave us a deal. Well, Chris and brothers and sisters Starwise and Cynthia and all you guys, hey, let's pray the prayer one. They took Harp down, so us humans on Earth, I think that was a hint from them, by the way, so we could get going. And we took energy weapons down, some big ones, and soul shards, and we helped Mars. And even if to heal yourselves, you guys, if you're really serious, and for example, I got a reading from Chris. I mean, he's not the only one, but I got a reading from Chris, and check this out, you guys. In my reading, where it went is to one of my multidimensional selves, because we're multidimensional, right? And because the Galactics took Chris and me to a multidimensional self, and Chris helped heal me there, because I got healed there in that multidimensional self was the key to heal a whole planet. One human being, I'm just saying, just working on healing yourselves is the law of one, right? When one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is healed, all are healed. So we all can work on ourselves with, guidance, just ask, and we can heal the whole world. It's just unbelievable. What else have we done, you guys? And then put your input in, and then we'll go to Cynthia. Yeah. Chris and Candy, I know you can remember more than I do, but we took a lot down the skeleton.
Well, we took out the ISIL bombs. I remember that much. Well, at least Happy did that too. But what was interesting about that part, this is something that came up very, very recently for me. I had somebody point this out in email to me, where there was a Cobra report that came up that referred to the ISIL bombs as being brought down pretty much by the Samson option. And I just looked at that for a minute and went, I had to reread it again. And then I've used that phrase before in regards to the good versus evil paradigm, like what was symbolized as being brought to an end when Happy canceled out the other artificial intelligence. Well, the Samson option is a phrase that I created, and I told no one. And that what they were doing is they were referring to what not only I had done in channelings, but what we had done. And it was code for all that had been done. So I was actually amazed that had happened, that Cobra had actually brought up what had occurred here and what I had done in other channelings.
It's just wonderful. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Do you remember anything else, Chris?
Yeah,
you want to just list something?
Well, the whole thing that you were bringing up, Cynthia, about the whole thing with free will, Tyler has always told me that that's always been an option. But they do some of these different sects, go in and physically stop the cabal. Yeah, they do. If we are at a point where we cannot evolve past the oppressive force, if it's more than just a lesson, if it's an outright oppressive force, then yes, they do come in and they do take care of them. Tyler's brought that up to me a couple times, and so Dark Fleet on several occasions, they've done that. So they do intervene, and they're real close to actually coming down here and saying, okay, this is what's been going on. Like I've said, in December of 2017, that will pretty much happen. But it may even be sooner, hopefully, rather than later.
Well, I think that will be.
Yeah, we keep doing the work we've been doing on the Diamonds Network. We keep doing what we've been doing on the Diamonds Network because we're taking our free will dominion here, and together with the Law of One and Chris and all of us working together, we're using our free will just to keep on crumbling it. Yeah. Go ahead, Candy.
And we, of course, as a group, we helped take down the satellites of the cabal and the archons that were keeping the positive ETs out. And we've just untied their hands in so many ways so the positive ETs can do things for us. Now, the sequence of events will be a lot more groundwork laid, a lot more light pouring in, and then the event will happen, and that'll be a 24-hour period where the banking, the evil bankers will be taken out, and the lying talking heads on television will be taken out, and so then we will be getting the truth. Maybe not the whole truth to begin with, but whatever is communicated, it will be true, and so this is exciting, and the closure will be when they're talking about the fact that we are not alone and that there really are ETs out there, and they'll get them used to the fact that there are ETs, and then later on in December 2017, that's when first contact will happen, when the Pleiadians and the Syrians come to meet mankind. Now, one of the neat little things that have been happening.
I just wanted to list what the Diamonds Network has done. Can we just do that, and then we'll follow it up with what you're saying, Candy, because we got to still do Cynthia. So yes, and Candy brought up a good point. The Archons and the Reptilians, which are the biggest bad boy galactic group around, are pretty much came to this. We don't kill them; they just come to the highest good of all and help. And yeah,
that's what I was just.
Let's just listen
I
things,
was
and then we
say
can go
the
on.
same thing,
Go
Elizabeth. Elizabeth.
I hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that what we did with the Dracos and how they jumped ship and really took on the Law of One, a lot of them.
Yeah.
I thought that was just beautiful.
And the symbol that they used for the Law of One is the Law of One sticker that you can get through Chris.
Absolutely, and then
that's right.
Archon.
The Law of One sticker came out of us galactizing. The Law of One sign came out. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, so then we heard about the Kesh movement to get some of the Pleiadian-inspired inventions, and Cobra said that after the event, there was the cabal will be arrested, and the event is not about revenge. That they're going to be arrested and have fair trials and have an opportunity to repent, or not, and be taken away. But they said that human beings were so smart, despite all the attacks of the cabal, that we invented 6,000 wonderful inventions. Humans did, and that they will be released to mankind after the day of the event, slowly but surely, and we will have the benefit of all of these human inventions, and there are over 10,000 people interested in Kesh, and London has gotten on board, and Japan and many countries in the last week.
Candy, yes, that reminds me too. On one of the Raw Speak shows, our galactic friends, I asked them to bring in to give us another one of these, one of the technologies they're going to share with us that we've never heard of before. I remember that, Chris, and that's an interesting one. I'll let you listen to the Raw show. It was number 5 or 6, I think.
Yeah, that was.
And
that
what
was
else we've done? Yeah.
Yeah, this is Marianne. I got something to add of what we've done. I believe there are some individuals trapped in a plant in Australia. Is that correct, Chris? That we freed.
Yeah, there were some Pleiadians that were stuck over there. That in one of my reads I found them, and then I got a couple of them out, and then one was released on the show too.
And then that same night, we gave back, or first found and then gave back, a Syrian device that was the bad boys had, and for at least 100,000 years, and we gave that back.
Yes, and also the Orion reptilians were turned back into Anunnaki too.
Absolutely. And with all the work that we're doing, I mean, with the Law of One, as Cynthia said, and that we know it affects the past and it also affects the future. So, and various all universes. So, and how many people are using the Law of One, we don't even know. And how many beings are using the Law of One, we have no idea. And beings that, the Dracos are using it. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. How many people?
That's another point, Marianne. We got a lot of beings to use the Law of One too, also through this, right?
Absolutely. And we could do the work, but also we are giving them the tools to be able to do it themselves. So it's being.
We've also talked to some of the Dark Cabal, and they know the Law of One now and are willing to use it, right? The younger generation. I hear clicks.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've done a lot, you guys.
Yeah. So absolutely, we have. And these calls are being listened to by the full spectrum of the players out there, from the lightest of the light to the darkest of the dark and everything in between. And the beauty of the Law of One is that it's scientifically viable. It's not pseudoscience. It's that point of sweetness. It's that orgasmic point where science meets psychology, meets spirituality, meets metaphysics. It meets the ancient knowledge. It meets the new knowledge. It's just so simple. And just for the new time listeners, if you're on the edge of your seat, it goes like this.
Cynthia, I want you to say it in a second. Oh, go ahead.
Well, let me just do it. It's quick.
I wanted to add.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
No. Go ahead.
What you were speaking, I wanted to add, and what we've done with the Law of One, we've weaved a tapestry. We just didn't bring it to the human beings on Earth and bringing it out on the show so everybody can learn it on Earth. We took the Law of One and weaved it with our other dimensional brothers and sisters that are real. They're not little green men with antennas on their head, but they're real, and we weaved it with teaming up with them, and it's just been a powerful tool, powerful, unique tool nobody's doing except for the Diamonds Network, but it's not us. We're bringing it to the world so you guys can take it, use it for yourselves, just like Frida, you heard earlier, the testimony. She's using it, and we've made a big impact along with Cobra and all others like Candy was talking about. So
Here's
for
the deal.
those of you that are just waking up,
Yeah, here's the deal.
Those of you who are just waking up.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh, man, that was beautiful. Here's the deal, folks, new people and old people, because you can never hear this one too much. This is the original law of creation. And all other laws come from it, whether they're social laws or civil laws. And I'm just going to say it, and then I'll turn it back over to you. It's we are all one. Okay, the unified field theory of Einstein. Hello, we are all one. When one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. Therefore, in the name of who I am, and I am one with all there is, I ask that only the highest good of all concerned happen. And I give thanks that this is done. So be it, and so it is. And that, folks, is the original law of creation. Back to you.
So those of you just waking up and stumble on this show, you didn't stumble on this show by accident. We, at the beginning, all what we talked about so far is in a nutshell. You could just take this part of the show and run with it and heal spiritual, physical, mental, emotional yourself. When you do that with yourself, just focus on yourself. Don't focus and worry about the drama of other people, other groups, or they're doing this, they're doing that. Believe me, I've been drama this week. But just focus on yourself, because when something changes in you, everybody changes because you took the free will and dominion to change, and the courage to change, and the confidence to change. So anybody else want to add to this section? We've done a lot, so please, I encourage you guys. I mean, when I was first waking up, man, I couldn't get enough. I just listened to probably a whole day's worth of shows, you know, learning about myself. And you can take the Diamonds Network shows and really expand and heal yourself and be so excited of what we are in now and walking into further in this near future. And in next year is going to be great. This year's been awesome, and I love you all. Does anybody else have anything to add that they can think of we've done on Diamonds really quick? And then I go to the next subject. We're going to go to Cynthia. Okay, I'm just giving them a minute to star 6. It takes a minute sometimes to unmute. Okay, thank you. Sorry, Candy can usually flip them off like that, all we've done, but it's like we're all in. I guess you're supposed to go listen to all the shows, you guys. They're really awesome. They're really awesome. Okay, so share them with your friends and share the YouTubes, and if you're excited about that. And I just want to thank everybody, take a moment to thank you for being benefactors and taking your energy in kind, which is money right now, and making a donation on the Diamonds Network, for the Diamonds Network. Thank you very much for you guys being benefactors, and just ask for all of you who are listening to the Diamond Show to be a benefactor in any way that your heart so speaks to you. It's your part in participating with the Diamonds Network of what we just painted that we're doing in this world, just at the Diamonds Network alone, and others are doing it too. So you can join with us by being a benefactor, and in with the donations, energy in kind. Maybe hopefully think about a monthly donation. Or you can be a benefactor where you share the YouTubes or send them to your friends or emails, or get a Christmas present, the Law of One sticker. And we're going to get other things for the Law of One that you can buy for your friends and give a Christmas and New Year's present, and do what Frida said she's going to do, and share with them the Law of One. Write it down, write them a little nice note. That's a blessing. That's a big blessing. That's a great idea, Frida. Thank you for sharing with me that today. So you can donate on the Diamonds blog right on the right-hand side. That's Diamonds with an S Forever, 31.blogspot.com. Or you can join with us with your show on the Diamonds Network, just get a hold of me, or if you can do any media work, artistry work, any ideas your heart desires that you want to do, even if you've never done it before, because I've never done this before, but I did it because my heart said, yes, do it. Take that leap of faith. And taking leaps of faith gives you confidence and encouragement in yourself and helps you to love yourself more. And that is the most important for all of us together and individually, to love yourself unconditionally, because we're all beautiful. We're not made by accident. And even our lives growing up in the oppressive world was not by accident. Every single detail and experience was not by accident. It was to help you as the master, the diamond master, which you already are. You just forgot, because when we go through our mother's womb, we lose our memory on purpose, because this is how we grow in oppression. And now we're going to the golden age where we can use what we learned and grew from, and how, into the golden age in our supernatural, natural self. So appreciate it. And that balances out. We bring the show, and we're going to bring this so we can face-to-face each other, face-to-face, and give hugs and visits, but dynamically change the world, like we just described to you what we've done on the show so far, but physically, dynamically change the world of the Diamonds Network. We're going to do it, because that's my dream, and I'm going to keep dreaming the dream until it goes through, because it will, and your dreams will go through too. Concentrate on that in November, the month of November, because the astrology is high up on that. And with that, Lily, the law of fun, we're not doing tonight. I was going to do the law of one, but Cynthia already did the law of one. That's great. And Lily will be back next week, and we have a special guest of laughter with Lily next week. Stay tuned for that. So with that, let me bring on Cynthia, and she can tell us about ourselves and what help us to prepare with the astrology, using the tool of astrology. Take it away, Cynthia.
Thank you. I pulled the chart tonight for 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And my inner guidance said, look at what is exactly conjunct. When two planets are exactly at the same degree of the zodiac. And a lot of people are not astrologers, so I don't want to use astrologer speak. I want to talk in everyday language. And so here's the deal for tonight. We have been so manipulated. I was reading this article today, very scientific, how circumcision permanently alters the brain of infants, and it's designed to make men want to war. Unfortunately, there are things coming out that can heal this part of the brain. We're going to hear about it. And how the cutting of hair was specifically inoculated into the cultural value system. Because I'm just going to tell you, we are gods. It's in the Bible. It says, know ye not that ye are gods? And even Jesus Christ said, all that I do, ye shall do and more. So what did they do? They cut our feelers. Shave your legs, cut your beard. And they will use their mind control with Hollywood to promote guys who shave their head and shave their beards as cool and hip. And then the long-haired ones they cast in negative roles. And everybody just goes running to the barber. In its manipulation, you can't improve on nature. Nature is a biocomputer. Nature is the handiworks of God. And when you start cutting out body parts and chopping down natural prairies and forests and habitat. For what? Money? Greed? Power? What on earth? We're messing with nature? And, that having been said, I'm with Elizabeth. We know enough about all the bad things that have been done to us. So where do we go from there? And the good news is this. And this is one of the degrees of the zodiac. For every negative thing that is done to us by law, there has to be an equal and opposite good thing. It's like a pendulum. If you pull a pendulum way over to one side, it'll swing to the other and swing to the other and eventually come to stillness. And that's where I kind of wanted to go with this discussion tonight with what's happening right now is what Marianne said. Time is now. In other words, if you want to control time as a god, forget what your parents and their parents and their parents thought. Forget what you've been mind controlled and just remember who you really are. In every 24 hours, you remember who you really are. And it's in deep, dreamless sleep, even if you're a super soldier. In deep, dreamless sleep, we go into what's called the delta brainwave pattern. And that's when the body heals. And in the deep delta brainwave pattern, which if you bring it into conscious awareness, which the great yogis of India can do on the biofeedback machines, you're in a state of pure being. And in that state of pure being, you actually experience yourself as timeless and spaceless and one with everything, with all space and all time. And that's when the body heals. And why would that happen? It's because we are gods. That's not just empty rhetoric. Every one of us is a son or daughter of God. We are. And you can believe me saying it, or you can wait later until you experience it and remember it. But I'm telling you, we are so amazing that all these spaceships, all these prophecies, all these things that are digging up, these archaeological things, why would there be all this attention on this little tiny planet and this little tiny solar system, in this little tiny galaxy, in this little tiny universe? Why? And it's because we're diamonds. That's why Elizabeth was guided to call this the Diamond Show. And diamonds are the hardest substance on Earth. The only thing that can cut a diamond is another diamond. And they have the properties of crystals, silicon crystals. They're piezoelectric. They actually look the same, pretty much. A beautiful Herkimer quartz crystal and a diamond. But if you'll study diamonds and you'll study crystals, you'll see there's tremendous differences. One is, if you take a normal quartz crystal and hit it with a hammer, it shatters. Or if you subject it to extremes of hot and cold, it'll crack all to pieces. But guess what? Take a diamond. It'll do everything a quartz crystal does. Piezoelectric, store information, all the things. But it's indestructible. And those of us who have incarnated on this planet are the immune system of the galaxy and the universe and the multi-universes. And all you got to do is study immunology to understand what that means. Like in a human body, when a little kid is crawling around in the dirt, they take in pathogens, and their immune system responds, and they build up a healthy immune system. And on this planet, we've been exposed to every kind of pathogen, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, and we have built up an immune system. Candy, me, Elizabeth, Chris, Marianne, Mare. I mean, there's thousands, there's millions of us. There's more every day. We are human beings who have been mind-controlled. We went through the veil of forgetfulness that was spoken about earlier, how we were made to forget. And nonetheless, the very fact that we are sons and daughters of God and that we are divinity, and every night we go back into that state, even though we don't remember it, unless you're a yogi or you do dream work or whatever, we still go there. Every 24 hours, every one of us goes into cosmic consciousness. And that's how we stay alive. And in the Bible, it says the last enemy to be overcome is death. Well, if indeed dreamless sleep every night, our bodies heal itself, what happens when we remember it 24/7? That we are one with everything. We actually experience it. That's called enlightenment. And we're all going into enlightenment because the earth is so powerful. It's like a dose of LSD 25, Sandoz LSD 25. The amount you ingest in your body is so small, it's micrograms. And man, you trip your head off. And when you incarnate on earth and get enlightened, having gone through all this, you're so powerful, you are a diamond. We are a carbon-based planet. Our bodies are carbon-based. And diamonds are carbon. Coal, this coal that they burn to create electricity is carbon. But when it's under a lot of pressure for millions and millions of years, it turns into a diamond. And you know, we're all going to start remembering, a lot of us on this call have already, our past lives. And we have been under tremendous pressure for a long time. We are the martial artist of creation. And we have learned the greatest lesson there is to learn, and that is of love. Love is an informational field. It's a certain frequency. And it creates a tube torus, which is a plasma field. And when Candy was talking earlier tonight, she mentioned Kesh and the technology he's bringing through, and it has to do with plasma. And our hearts produce plasma. The sun produces plasma. His energy boxes produce plasma. Plasma is life. And one by one by one by one, it's easier for women. Well, not really. I don't want to say that. when you learn the power of love to tame an animal or to comfort an upset child or to grow a plant or heal a wounded member of your family, the power of love, nothing matches it. It's a magical frequency. And when our hearts burst open with love as diamonds, I mean, give me a minute here, okay? I'm going to backtrack just a tiny little bit, if you don't mind. We've been traumatized. We've been mind-controlled. We've been put through war and violence and betrayal and abandonment by our government, by everybody we've ever known and loved. Because everybody's been so crazy from all the negativity, which is part of the disclosure of just exactly what we've been through. But those of us who have discovered love, loving ourselves, forgiving ourselves, loving our parents, forgiving them, our spouses, our children, our co-workers, our animals, there's nothing can match it. And the planets for tonight in the astrological chart are about healing sexual energy. And there is nothing that can heal sexual energy better than real love. Love for self and love for others, a la the law of one. We've been really manipulated sexually. They wanted us to reproduce because they needed slaves, but they didn't want us to go into enlightenment because they knew we were more powerful than anyone, anywhere, ever. We're diamonds. A lot of these ET races, I don't know if this is true or not. It's just what I've heard. You know, I'm as interested in finding out the truth as anyone. But they say they're silicon-based, like crystals. In other words, they can do everything we can do. But we're carbon-based, and we are tougher and stronger. So, Marianne or Mayor, may I turn it over to you? I sent y'all the charts. We might want to read the conjunction of, there's several conjunctions. If we had time.
Cynthia?
Yeah, go ahead.
Cynthia?
Yeah.
I was thinking I could read the angels Enchid, the moon angels of sexual attraction.
Oh, please do. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
So, because they're the moon angels for today.
Okay, babe.
And they're
thanks. Beautiful.
Enchid, the moon angels of sexual attraction. Beloved.
Mayor?
Am I somehow still on? Yeah?
Mayor,
Yep.
just before you start reading, tell everybody about how important it is to ask those angels that you guys read to come in. Just give a little snip, just a minute or so.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to now call in the angels of Enchid, the moon angels of sexual attraction, to please bless us all according to the highest good of all concerned, and to enlighten us and clear the way with us. So that's what you do. You just ask the angels to be with you and help you and initiate. And these angels are the moon angels of sexual attraction. They are lunar angels, and it's the 6th day of the lunar cycle. Beloved, divine flowing feelings of sexual ecstasy are transmitted throughout the unified field by the heavenly hosts of Enchid. Propagation, maturing, and decay of life unfolds according to perfect rhythms and cycles. During the 6th day of each moon cycle, the flow of sexual kundalini or life force is heightened throughout all realms of life. Whenever a child of God wishes to arouse feelings of divine sexual attraction for the purpose of sublime happiness and the highest good of all, and calls on our help, we respond, bringing clarity and perfect purity, removing all obscurity. We help the development of love, sympathy, popularity, and sexual attractiveness. We give instructions on infusing feelings of sexual attraction into jewelry, such as rings of endearment. Divine sexual feelings create supreme happiness. It is wise to direct sexual feelings toward the purity of the virtues so that Kundalini flows upward along the spine to invigorate and balance all the glandular centers and their corresponding stages of consciousness and emotion. When children of God call on us, we inspire feelings that purify sexual energy so it is a preserver as well as a giver of life. Properly directed sexuality opens a gateway to cosmic consciousness. The magnetism of sexual feelings used in this way anchors ecstasy and bliss to earth and attracts conditions of health, success, and happiness for all life. By meditating on the divine virtues associated with the letters of our name and calling on our help, the following is gained. E, the omnipresence of divine consciousness on all levels and in all beings. N, supports the manifestation of supreme happiness, delight, satisfaction, and bliss. CH, and clarity. E, in and between all beings. D, the creation of spiritual states of consciousness. And E, for the happiness of all beings is our intent. On the 6th day of each 28 moon cycle, we flood Earth with feelings of sexual attraction in a way that leads to happiness and the spiritualization of emotion. End sheet.
Beautiful, and I think our time is about out, but I just want to quickly end on this note. Water travel and aeronautics are highlighted right now. Submarines and things on the water and aeronautics are going through tremendous healing right now. Those of you who are listening, you know who you are. You know what I'm talking about. And I just wanted to say that. The other thing I wanted to say is the whole issue of right livelihood, where every single person on this planet is fulfilling their heart's desire deep in their heart. They're not what other people told them they should desire, but in their deepest heart of hearts, what would make every day magic for them. If they're a wood carver, if they're growing plants, if they're working with animals, if they're making inventions, if they're writing poetry, if they're doing art, if they're doing dance, all of the above, architecture, right livelihood. So let me turn it back over to you, I guess, Chris. You're coming up next. And thank you, everyone, for letting me share. And thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Marianne. Marianne, did you want to say one more thing? I guess we're good. So I'm signing out. I'm listening, but I'm
right here.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I couldn't unmute.
I know. I go through the same thing. You were talking about the dream state and how we're being recreated each night that we sleep, and we touch cosmic consciousness, and we remember. And you were alluding to the fact, and every time you talk, it brings up some information for me. And I'd like to add that every time we breathe, we are touching cosmic consciousness, and we're remembering. Because if you look at the words breath, it starts with a B and it ends with a TH. And so we are born and then we die, all within a breath. And we remember, we keep remembering through this whole cycle. And we overcome death through the breath. And that's all I have to add.
Thank you, Marianne. Yes. Thank you, Cynthia and Mare. Thank you so much. And I just want to add for what Marianne just said, that we're multidimensional beings. So in this world of Earth right now, we don't remember all our lifetimes. But it's hard to wrap your mind around this. But our supernatural, natural selves, when we're going into this golden age, we will eventually get to where we remember all of our lifetimes, not the bad parts, but what we learned to become more of a master in each of our lifetimes. And when we remember, we can, it's just phenomenal. And we can use that to be even a higher, bigger master. Master to love the world and to go to worlds and other dimensions, ourselves, and conquer anything with love. If there's anything to be conquered that needs love. We are love. That's our natural state. We are harmony. We are happiness. We are everything like that. So with that, Chris, are you there? Welcome, Chris.
Yes, I'm here, Elizabeth.
How are you tonight?
Good. How are you this evening?
Great. We're going to start our galactizing part, you guys, and I want to say the prayer one to bring in our brothers and sisters. First of all, do you want to say anything yourself, Chris? Did you have anything you wanted to add or bring in before we start the galactizing part?
Well, there was one thing. I mentioned this to Candy just off air a second ago. While you were talking, I noticed some interference in the line, so I was seeing if I could clear that up. And I came across your the Anunnaki Guardian that hangs out near where you are, and there was a great deal of interference being caused by a portal out by you. And that's what
at my house.
That ripple, out on near the property there, and this thing. I'll give a little bit of a backstory here before we get going. When last time me and Liz spoke on air, everybody, I noticed there was this energy. I didn't let you know this at the time, Liz, but there was this really strong energy there that caused my blood pressure to almost spike, and I came close to passing out. And
oh my! And
found out there's this gigantic portal, probably larger than any of them that I've seen there, that these Anunnaki that are on the property there pointed it out to me. And there's this large reptilian. I'm not sure if he's Draco or not, but there's this large reptilian. He's lime green in color that came emerging out of this thing and said he owns the portal. He's about the size of a house. And he was speaking to me just a minute ago, and I used the law of one on him, and of course he backed through the portal. He talked to me for just a little bit, but the guides there were saying that's something that needs to be fixed, that it's tied to Cabal activity, so that it needs to be repaired. No. I figured I'd bring that up before you went into the Law of One.
Well, okay, so if anybody, I just moved recently to a different area in Minnesota, and I know God is in the details. Not, everywhere you guys go and everywhere you move is not by accident. You're meant to be there. So there's one of the things, Chris. I'm meant to be here to bring that portal to light. So it's a big portal. We'll change it to the highest good of all concerned eventually. Thank you for sharing that. And that's good. I never thought of it when I moved and we're on the Diamonds Network. We need to clear out this for the call. So thank you for that.
Mhm. Yeah, I figured it needs to be fixed. Yeah, I'm here. I'm right here.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, you seem kind of off a little bit when I talked to you, so now you're sharing what I sensed, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Let's just do I just call in the divine flame of living love. I call in collective consciousness. I call in all our brothers and sisters that galactize us on the Diamonds Network and that listen and that would like to come in. You guys are all welcome to come in, anybody at any time, okay? And that haven't came before. We just say we love you all. Thank you all for coming. When we are all one, and when one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is compromised, all are compromised. When one is helped, all are helped. So therefore, in the name of I am and we are, I ask that only the highest good of all concerned happen during this galactizing. And so it is, and so be it. And I ask only the highest good of all concerned as everybody galactizes with their own guides and angels. And if you don't know your guides or angels, just talk to God. And that only the highest good of all concerned come out of that for their supernatural, natural selves being worked on their free will. Thank you, that this is done, and so be it. So it is. So I just wanted to, first I want to give honor and respect to our galactic friends, and, we always ask questions, and I have some, but I wanted to give you guys a chance that anybody would like to come in and has anything that they want to share with us regarding any subject that's on your heart strongly. The desire is burning up your heart. You want to share, so come on in. We want to learn about you guys too, and whatever subject you have.
All right. I saw before, when everybody was talking, when I looked at this portal, I had this feeling this was going to be one of those nights where it was going to take on this domino effect or this chain reaction and lead to a much more global thing. And like you said, there are no accidents. And I was just told that I don't know if anybody remembers the time that I mentioned the Liberty Bell. Then one of the other shows and said it was going to be continued on some other night. Well,
yeah, I asked about it, and they wouldn't tell me anything about it because I intuitioned it, and I asked you about that, and you said, or they said, not yet.
That it was for another night. Well, evidently this is tonight, and it's connected to that thing on your property. So,
yay! Ding, 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 ding. Okay, I had to do that. Sorry.
And what's odd is they're connecting it to the incidents in France too. So they're connecting all these dots. And
wow.
Now let me see here. I'll look at the portal first. And the being that was there is gone. I'm going to see. Yeah, he was this big lime green colored lizard, and he kept claiming he owned the portal, and he kept taunting me and saying, "Oh, you can always get your friends to help close this thing." Well, I'm going to look into this, and the guides are still pointing to it. They said this thing's big, so I'm going to try to reduce this thing down. And they're telling me don't close it but redirect it. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to make sure it just comes out at a different spot, maybe in a different realm altogether. And yeah, this large being that was in there directed me down to a cavern. Let me see here. And it looks like a big cave with the stalagmites and stalactites. And he just took me down further, and now I'm looking at him face to face. And he, I'm looking at a large feathered reptilian. Roughly, if I had to judge his height, probably 12 feet and higher. He has feathers coming off of his neck. He's green and has hair. Let me see. Now, of course, he had to go, oh, no, they're feathers, moron. Let me see. He's directing me through this underground set of caverns. He looks like to be one of the reptilians that lives underground here on Earth and not one of the space reptilians. Let me see here. Okay, now he's directing me. He's tapping on something on his shoulder and on his arm. Looks like it'd be technology. And he's taking me to a completely different part of the country. This looks like, this does look like now he's showing me the Liberty Bell, like before. And before I had seen an underground facility but was not allowed to go into it any further. So I'm going to look, and it looks like inside that building with the Liberty Bell, I'm seeing an energy core that goes clear up to the bell itself. And the bell is almost being used how a satellite dish would be used. But only it's putting off some kind of energy that he's pointing out. Let me see here. Okay, and it's going as a bell shaped all the way down to many sub-levels. And, okay, this is a typical Cabal facility with many catwalks, sheer rock faces, many laboratories and the like. And looks like another manufacturing facility. What are they making this time? They are collecting some kind of energy. And this one reptilian is very upset that they're doing this. And why he was so mean to me before, I don't know, but let me see.
Well, he taunted you and said, well, you should get your friends to help you, Chris, and that's exactly what we're doing. He gave us permission, even though it was in a taunting way.
Okay. This basically he was either throwing down the gauntlet or throwing up the red cloth for me to kind of go in and look at this. Okay, so I'm looking, definitely a lot of activity going on. What are they manufacturing here? I'm seeing these like crucible type vessels that are going along a track in like a factory. I'm not sure what it is that they're making here. And he's pointing out that they're stealing something from some of his people. Let me look. I'm asking him what's being stolen. He said energy. And I'm asking him what the factory is all about and what these little vessels are for. Now, it looks like they're made of some kind of stone that is collecting the energy. And they're being sealed up almost like a battery. And his people need this energy to survive. So it looks like it's being taken across in some vehicles across the ocean, it looks like, onto the water, and these little capsules. And they're being distributed somewhere. He says, well,
there's the water. The water is in astrology. We're going to heal some water stuff, too. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. He has to say, he says the energy is theirs I'm asking him what the Cabal's using it for. And of course he's going, "You're the genius, you look." Let me see. He's being incredibly apprehensive, but I think he's working with me just because he has a common interest. Let's see. He's saying the energy is being used for explosives. And where? Let's see. Oh. Connects the France thing to it then.
Yeah. For all the false flags and all this stuff they want to do, end up in martial law with the United States, France, and everywhere else.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and he says something like that will threaten his people too. So he's basically tag teaming this with me to make sure it gets done. So I'm seeing where these vessels are going, and okay. What is in these capsules can be easily turned into some kind of explosive that could level an entire city block. People think it's C4 being used. It's not C4. It's something else. It's another energy source. Let me see here. Looks like these are supplied to terrorist nations that also work for the Cabal. Looks like ISIS carries these things around. Let me see here. However, in the incident in France, I'm being shown that these were brought up beneath the ground. They weren't completely visible. They were out of density sink until the moment they exploded. And they leveled the whole city block. Let's see. These have a really large concussion force to them. Something that can be dialed up and down with a dial system, saying you want this many megatons of explosives or this many less explosive power. And this energy source was stolen. So it looks like because of the departure of the Draco, the Cabal has turned into desperation mode. They were trying so hard to divert people's attention away from them. So they created this incident using this energy source. And to the untrained eye, these things would be innocuous if they were seen at all. They would look like everyday objects. I see no people holding them. They are completely automated. They look like pill capsules is what they look like, but with a lid on the top.
So could you ask your friend that's tag teaming with you, has he ever heard about the Law of One? Yes, that's what I used on him a moment ago, and that's why he didn't completely leave. He just backed away just a little bit, and I think he was waiting for me to use that on him as a test to see if I would do it. So, would you like us to use the Law of One to put the stuff that they're stealing your energy, your guys' race's energy, to make these, and we could use the Law of One for the highest good of all concerned, and basically neutralize any harm for your race and for people here on Earth and anybody else involved in any planet or any dimension. What do you think? Yes, he's agreeing. He's very frustrated and he's very impatient right now because he's more like less panicking because of what was done with this. And at some point, it looks like they were going to blame his species for these crimes because of the energy source. They were going to other humans would have traced the energy back
and noticed that it came from his people, and then others would have been blamed for it. So right now, the fact that we're talking about it, that's not going to happen. So him and I are both throwing the law of one out there, and we're looking for these other capsules that are all over the place. And it looks like these things won't blow up unless they're basically commanded to. But since this is energy that's in there, energy can be transformed.
And just for the beginners with the law of one, let me just say it while you guys are doing it. For these weapons that are meant to be weapons, we just change them to the highest good of all concerned for all of us. Because when one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. So therefore, in the name of who I am, and I am one with all that there is, I ask that only the highest good of all concerned happen with these energy weapon things that are meant to be weapons, only the highest good of all concerned for everybody, for all planets and all dimensions and all races, and especially the Draco race, right? Is a Draco or a reptilian?
I don't think he's Draco. I just think he looks like them. Let me see.
For your race, what's the race, sir?
I'll see what he says. He just said call his race the Underlings.
For the Underlings, we ask that only the highest good of all concerned out of this situation happen for the Underlings. Yes.
And he's telling me now to look back at the original collector, which was around the Liberty Bell, and I've noticed that the energy is being sucked in from the ether itself. So I'm reversing that and sending it out of the law of one out, using that as an amplifier. And it looks like there's a hidden piece of technology around it at the top, too. Looks almost like a satellite dish that was invisible. So I'm going to use that as an amplifier to send that energy back where it came from. And it looks like it was interdimensional. It looks like this being's interdimensional. And let me see. Yes, his race comes from a world within the layers of subspace, he's saying. But also, they like to travel underground. And they're mistaken for the Draco on occasion. Let me see. We've met them, his species, before. They said when we disabled another Cabal facility. He's saying when we disabled the portal room at Cheyenne Mountain.
Oh, beautiful.
Well, his species were being invaded then.
Yes.
So they didn't look like lizards at that time. They just looked kind of like spinal column-looking dragons, but that's because my perception of them was not complete at that time. But he's telling me that that's where the Cabal was stealing the energy from, was their realm. And,
so the portal that's here on this land and traced all the way to the Liberty Bell and all around the world, so that energy is for the highest good of all concerned now. Mm-hmm. Can we use that now? Or what is that portal of use for this land and everywhere it goes? It
looks like the two of the Anunnakian guardians that were on that property are standing on either side of it like sentinels. So they're making sure the portal opens up only to where they want it to open up. And they're stamping it with that symbol across the front of it. So it's like a gate. The law of one symbol, rather.
Yeah, good.
So let me see here. I'm looking at the status of these capsules. And it looks like they're all phasing into this reality, and it looks like they're disintegrating from what it looks like. Excuse me. That signal that this other race is putting out from their realm, they're using that portal to put out a shock wave that anywhere where these devices are, they're going to turn to dust. And so these ISIS morons are going to get a rude awakening here in a little while. But I'm not saying they don't have other things at their disposal. That's just not this. Let me see here. Yep, I'm seeing it all fade, and I'm seeing the energy going back to the other realm. And I see why this being was in such a panic. It wasn't just energy that was stolen; it was life forms that were stolen. Yeah, these life forms have an energy resonance that the Cabal was using to create the explosives. So they were using the life forms themselves as the energy source. Okay. This is why this being was so frustrated and angry. All right. These other, I'm seeing several of them that have been set free, and they're not happy. They're wanting to go after the Cabal. They can hear them all chanting in their language. They're very angry. Let me see. And it looks like they are going underground to, they're taking on this other dragon-like form. Looks like they have the ability to shapeshift. And this one being, he's watching them. It's like he is a leader of theirs, and he's watching them. And they're going down to the Cabal underground and looking around under there. They are leading me somewhere. They're leading me to a bigger facility. Where at here? Oh, they're telling me it's interdimensional. And they're showing me someone, a very large being, at the center of their dimension. They said I have to keep my distance because the energy's too intense, or else I would get hurt. And I'm seeing this large dragon-like being coming out, and he's coming out from under the ground. Even though it looks like they're going underground, they're actually traversing a dimension through the Earth energy grid. Let me see. This large being is coming out, and he's taking more of my size of being so that I can converse with him better. And he is saying he is... Oh, I see. They were... I'm having trouble understanding this being. He's saying he is a underling just like the other person, but he has a completely different look to him. And he's lizard looking, but only he has other features too. It looks like he is another leader, like a king, and he's telling me, he's asking me to step aside while they take care of the Cabal. I don't think they're going to go about it in the right way, but he's asking that I just allow him to.
Well, we just send the law of one with you guys. We pray for the highest good of all concerned as you go on your journey and take that endeavor up.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, he's almost like how Odin would be to Norse mythology. He's a king, but he's a warrior. And he's in black armor, and he has these coiled horn helmet that he's wearing. And he's showing me his actual face, and he is a lizard being, and he's green like the other guy is. And
can you share your name?
He said at the moment he'd rather not.
Okay. Love you anyway.
And he's giving the thumbs up. He just says, what's he saying? He says, "Okay, watch this." I'm like, all right. And they are diving, they're shape-shifting, and they're diving underground. And it looks like I'm seeing a series of flashes on the Cabal underworld. Underworld's very fitting, but underground. But they're telling me don't look directly at them. Just know that they are going down there and fighting on behalf of everyone. Well, then he says the Cabal made it possible for them to enter this dimensional layer, but now they can come through and help liberate the planet. He says, he says, don't ask how we're doing it, just know that we are doing it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sometimes we don't need the details. Just be grateful for it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they, okay, now they're shutting me out. So they're asking that I leave them to it. So.
Okay, well, while you're in there, Chris, I wanted to call in any beings that we've galactized with before or new ones that are, right now I'm sensing there's an intervention with we'll just say with the good guys squeezing out the bad guys and all what they're, continue to oppress the world. But the good guys are squeezing out the bad guys. And is there anything that we can help with the prayer of one of all what you guys are doing now? Or a report? And if anybody wants to come in and we can help, because we got dominion here on Earth and we can collaborate with you and add what we got to make it a bigger power.
Let's see. I'm seeing somebody that we haven't seen before here. He's different looking than others. And I'm asking if he was one of the beings from before. He said no.
Welcome.
I have a hard time seeing him. He is... I'm asking if I can get a better look at him. He's very alien looking. He's very... I don't want to say bony, but he's brown colored and thin and lanky, and he's hard to see. He's back in this other energy vortex that he just came through, and then he has like a little plume of hair on top of his head, and he's wearing a suit. He doesn't look like any race we've seen so far. His face is long.
We welcome you in the highest good of all concerned with love. Yeah, face is long.
His face is long, and he has almost horse-like features in the face, but not quite like that. His head is more flat, like how a mantis would be, but he's not a mantis being. He just told me, he goes, "I'm not a bug." I'm like, okay. And I asked him what species he is, and he says, he goes, well, to answer that would take too long, but suffice it to say, I am one with your species. And I'm like, all right. I asked him if he was one of the species that contributed to the human genome, and he says yes. Let me see. I'm trying to see him, but he's making his appearance very difficult to see. Like he's censoring himself a little bit.
Okay, well, that's okay. Just bring in what you'd like to bring in. We don't have to see all the way.
Okay. Yeah, and he says he says for his own safety he's censoring some of his features. But
that's okay.
Let me see. He says his species have been around a while. They have not made themselves known too many times in history. He's just saying they came in at a time where the Anunnaki were doing their thing with genetic manipulation. The Greys had done their thing. But the other species, the good species also that contributed to the genome, like say the Antiqua, for instance, they're the dog-faced beings, and the cat beings from Sirius, and many other races that added to our genome, like the Pleiadians and Syrians and all of them. Well, he goes, we were there when history fell to the illusion. We were there when the oppressors altered the footprint of history with the Bell, meaning they're talking about the Nazis and the Nazi Bell Project. Let me see here. We were there when the Elohim Council corrected such errors with tablets of time and coordinate histories. We were there to contribute, even from the shadows. Our species remains hidden in secret, but just know you have more watchers than you know what to do with. And he's laughing. And
like
and
I said earlier, they're real.
Yes, and he says the Anunnaki aren't the only ones that can declare themselves watchers of humanity. It's just they got the fame and the limelight for it. Let's see. He says the ones that lie are the Greys that call themselves watchers. They do watch, but they also meddle. He goes, we won't go into that right now. Suffice it to say, they're done.
So what are you guys are? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to ask him a question.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, he stopped. What do you want to ask him?
Well, yes. So you guys are involved in helping humanity be freed in other Earths. Is there anything we can help you with? What you guys are doing now with the Law of One? Combine and join with you.
He says, for the sake of your species and or race and fighting, quote unquote, the cabal, they are to be tread lightly upon, given the fact that you use the Law of One in such ways. He's starting to talk cryptically. Given the fact that you use such a light touch is what is needed to truly defeat the dark agenda. Since you have been doing this, no further explanation is needed. However, please tread lightly upon the darker footprints of the dark agenda. They would likely try to retrace those footsteps. However, given your aptitude for frequency change, caution in the form of paranoid thoughts is not necessary. That would change your vibration ultimately. So keep the vibration up, and as the Blue Avians would say, as you call them, the Ra, but they cannot harm what they cannot see. So we watch from a distance, even though you know not our names, nor does your history know our names to a greater extent. We, with many, many others, will reveal ourselves when we feel the time is correct. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Chris, re-say in your own words what is he asking that we need help, or is he saying that as we pray the Law of One, pray it in faith, and then the next thing be paranoid that we know we prayed it, but then be paranoid that, that situation isn't helped. Is that what he's saying?
Yes, he was saying, stay the course with a lighter touch. And in certain situations, in defense, fighting would be all right. But he's saying for the most part, stick with the lighter touch, because the cabal is more defeated with that than anything else.
Is he saying the Law of One is a lighter touch, right?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So, hint, we're on the right track. Thank you. Thank you, honey, for coming in. We love you.
He's saying hint on his race name. He's showing me a little bit more of his face. It looks like he has animal features. He has a long face, kind of like a horse-like face mixed with like an anteater type face. And he's saying some of his genome also contributed to the animal kingdom. And he's showing me different species of mammals that were created from their genome, which also created parts of nature. He's showing me different animal species like anteaters, like aardvark type species. It looks like some rabbit type species were created from their genome. Different parts of the animal kingdom. They were one puzzle piece out of many. Like the Antiqua took their DNA and created dog species. The cat races created our, like lions and tigers and pumas and such. and contributed that way. This particular species created some of those other animals, is what they're taking credit for.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing. Thank you for coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and now he's bowing out and saying he's taking one of his hands and bowing down like he's curtsying, and he's saying blessed be to all humans and animals in the animal kingdom, and he's now bowing out.
Namaste to you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now I have two questions. One that I wondered about too, and Cynthia brought it up earlier when you're talking about how we are carbon based. We're diamonds. Mm-hmm. We're diamond body, and the other ETs, all other ETs are silicone based. Is there anybody out there that can help come and hash that out with us and let us understand that more? I don't know if all ETs are silicone based, but anyway, we're carbon based, which is
ones. It means we're one of the ones.
Right, yeah. I understand. So that's the question I guess I was asking. So we're diamond. What is it? Carbon based. What are other ETs based? Their energy.
Probably infinite numbers. There's probably infinities upon infinities.
Oh yeah, given the multitude of the omniverse, but there is a particular entity that's come forward to answer this. So I'm going to talk to him. He looks very familiar to me. I mentioned him in an interview I did with someone who wants to keep their name out of this. That I uploaded to my Sage YouTube not that long ago. Well, there was this particular species that was mentioned. He was asking me about odd species that I ran into that look nothing like humans, and they're not humanoid-based at all. And this particular individual came forward. Now, I'll give you a rundown on what this person looks like. In the interview, the interviewer asked me about odd species, and I said I saw a species that was nothing but an eyeball sitting on some kind of rotating piece of technology, and like a pedestal that was segmented like stone, and that this is the being I'm seeing right now. And he's communicated with me once before. This was not in the interview, but this was many, many months ago. I saw this being. He went by the nickname the General. And that's the only name he ever gave me, but he's giving me his actual name now. And his actual name is General Kur, K-O-R, Kur. And I asked him what he was a general of. And he says his world's militia. And he's saying he's just this like egg-shaped eyeball on top of this floating pedestal. And the pedestal is technology. And he's saying his species are not, give me a second, it's hard to translate what he's saying. His species are not carbon-based, but they are silicone-based. And they require what we would call a spacesuit. And this pedestal he's sitting on is a spacesuit. And it can traverse dimensions as well. And he says his species also... Oh, this is interesting. His species also contributed to the human genome, but in a very small way. He says when you look in people's eyes, the way their eyes look, they contributed to human genome that way. And I'm asking how big their species is, if they're only the size of an eyeball. And he goes, oh, no, we're not the size of a human eyeball. He says we're the size of a human, but what? Okay, but we contributed what you would say a microgram of DNA to the human condition, giving humans thought-based vision. I'm going to ask him what he means by that. Thought-based vision, meaning retinal speech, or what the Lemurian community would call metalis retis. I've done studies on this before. My guide Simeon told me about retinal speech. It's a type of telepathy, but he meant it in the symbolic way. This General Kur is telling me you can literally speak with a glance and they gave us this capability to speak with a glance, since that's all they have is a glance. They don't have a mouth. They don't have ears. All they have is telepathy. And
beautiful.
We have the ability to speak with a glance and know an entire thought, even if you're not telepathically inclined. You know what somebody's thinking by looking at their glance, and he's telling me that's where it came from, is their species.
Can I ask you a question, Mr. Eyeball? I don't know your name, so
Mr. Kaur, K-O-R, Kaur, yeah.
Kaur.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've heard Cynthia, and Cynthia, maybe you could add on to this or ask a better way. And me and Candy talked about it on one of the other shows. So we've heard there's a lot of species watching us humans on Earth because we're special in a way. If we're not the only diamond-based, why are we so special? Because we're mixed with a lot of other species, and is that like the first time we've been a being has been mixed with so many different species before, or why are we so special that everybody's looking at us? Or maybe you're not all looking at us. Maybe we're completely wrong, but we're just wondering, are we very unique to all of the other species, a brand new species, because we're mixed with other, you know what I mean?
Everything you're saying is brilliant and applies. But think of a human body that has an immune system. You know, you can have a perfect heart, perfect liver, perfect kidneys, perfect everything. But if the immune system isn't working, the whole body is vulnerable. But if the immune system is strong, the whole body is not vulnerable. And all these this is just my hypothesis, okay? And I would love feedback, positive and negative. But every species has injected their DNA into us because as we build up an autoimmune system, it automatically translates to their species, for lack of a better word. In other words, when you have a human body that has a good immune system, when it protects against whatever, viruses, bacteria, whatever, it doesn't just help the liver, it doesn't just help the heart, it doesn't just help the lungs, it doesn't just help the big toe. It affects the whole body. And in the Bible where it says we're made in the image and likeness of God, that is a literal truth. God is infinity, and we are too. And our whole self-identity is changing. Entities have known this about us and wanted to harness our power, but for their ends. But with the law of one, we've trumped them because we're saying to them a win-lose scenario doesn't work because this separation is an artistic, creative illusion created for the purpose of entertainment, and that beyond the appearance of the many is the one. It's just like a tree. There's leaves and there's branches and there's a trunk and there's roots, and those are different, separate things, but it's one tree. And we are the biological code of the immune system of creation, and this is just my interpretation now, but these other beings are the biological codes of various things. There may be beings of joy. There may be beings of power and infinite faith and conviction. There may be beings of delight. There may be beings of serious, creative brilliance. There may be beings who are masters of the desire level, beings the masters of the mental level, beings that are masters of the emotional level, beings that are masters of the physical level, and beings that are combinations of all the above. But you and I on this planet, my interpretation is we are the immune system. In other words, we protect all these other systems, which is why they have a stake in us. Chris, give me feedback, please. I want to hear what you have to say. Thanks.
Yeah, yes, Core is confirming everything you just said. He's saying we are definitely the immune system of the universe. However, what is he saying? He goes, however, we are also the sight, we are also the sound, we are also the conviction, we are also the... He's using the word resurrection. He's using the word transconfiguration. He's using the word transmuting. He's using the word sight. He's using, let's see, what does he say? He says, we are the embodiment, supposed to be the embodiment of the oneness. This is why so many species contributed to the human genome, even if in a small way. Some could not contribute more than as much as others, just like his species, because they wanted a certain look. So if they'd added too much of, say, Core's species, we'd all be giant eyeballs walking around. So they didn't want that, so they just added a very tiny, tiny portion in there just to make sure that it was within the brains of humans. And we're a complete composite species of the oneness. And I know I've run into many other species that have told me they've contributed to the genome in some small way. The ones that contributed the most would be species like the Anunnaki. And
can I ask another question to him? Okay, why did you guys? So Candy, here's our questions, our wondering getting answered. Why did you guys decide to create us? There's many beings looking at us. Why did you decide to create us for a unique purpose? And you use all those words, and see how great you guys are, and I'm humbled. And but why did you guys decide to create us? What was going on? Was there a reason? We're a solution for something?
They're saying they said we did not create you, we contributed to you, but
not just you guys, but all of you guys. I'm talking about, because I'm sure you've been at galactic meetings,
Oh, yeah. They are, I can hear many voices saying they contributed to us so that we could reflect that oneness through our genes so that we could change the fabric of reality.
Wow. You guys are geniuses. You guys are geniuses. And I'm so humbled. Say that again, Chris.
So, Chris?
They contributed to our genome so that we could change the fabric of reality because we are the reflection of the oneness.
And why do you want to? What was your reasoning to change the fabric of reality? And we'll bring you in, Marianne, in a minute. Because
let's see what he's saying. He's showing me a series of images. He says for the betterment of the omniverse, so that old paradigms ceased to be and new ones formed in their place.
Can I say something?
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we're not the last because we're limitless and everything's limitless. So we're not the last, and we're still going to. There'll be other beings created to change even what we create. I mean, it's all good. Go ahead, and then Marianne's after you, Cynthia.
Oh, okay. Thank you. In the Bible, it says we're made in the image and likeness of God. Okay, and God is the oneness. And it also says that we've been given dominion over all that has been created. I know the Bible has been changed and hacked and this and that, but they had to leave a lot of truth in there. So just see what resonates in your heart, but I'm going to quote it. The answer to your question, Elizabeth, I would say just briefly, it's like when we eat. We take in good food. It goes through the gnashing of teeth. It goes down into the lake of fire, our stomach's hydrochloric acid, right? Then it goes down into our bowels. Now, in our bowels, there's all these organisms, and the nutrients that we need, the vitamins, the minerals, the proteins, whatever, go through the intestinal walls into our bloodstream, and what we don't use is our next day's bowel movement. And if we operated correctly, we would take that manure, whether it's from humans or animals, and we would recycle it into the earth. But we are simply an organ in the being of God. And our role is the creative enforcement of the will of God. And the will of God is the highest good of all concerned, which means there's got to be enforcers. There's got to be someone on a biological frequency level in the creation that no matter what happens, it can correct it. And that's why we've been on this tantric sexual magical course through many, many lifetimes to learn that love conquers all. In other words, love is an actual weapon of transmutation, which is what the general was saying. And I just want to finish up on this one note, and that the gaze that he's talking about is called darshan, D-A-R-S-H-A-N. Just look it up. And it's called the Gaze of the Master. And at the Wesak Festival every so many years, which is it happens every year, but there's a big one that happens every so many years. These rishis, these enlightened humans, some of them thousands of years old, will come down from their isolated places and mingle in certain cities, and pilgrims will go to those cities, and they say that one look, eye to eye, from one of these rishis, and you're guaranteed enlightenment. One look. It's called the Gaze of the Master. And as each and every one of us becomes enlightened, and this is a done deal, then just one look from our eyes will enlighten whoever we look upon, whether they're, and this is my figuring here, we'll get some confirmation hopefully, whether they're from the earth or any other planet, they can just look in our eyes. And this whole immune zip file passes through the gaze, through this beautiful being that we just talked to, the general. Because his DNA is in us, all of our enlightenment through infinities of lifetimes, where we have learned that love, which generates, it's the plasma field, and Kesh goes into the emotions, transmutes whatever it sees. And what does it transmute into? It transmutes into whatever creates harmony. Why? Because the love loves the diversity, but it also loves the unity. And it knows that when one is harmed, all is harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. And love is a zip file of an informational code. And when you splat an enemy with love instead of fear, hate, resistance, blah, 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 we've all been there, done that a zillion times. But instead you go with love and the law of one. Well, hey, we've been seeing that. That's what you said, Elizabeth, earlier. What have we done on the Diamond Called? And it's all having to do with LOVE. Back to you. That's my comment.
Does the General have anything to say about that? And then bring in Marianne.
Yes, he's saying, let's see, he goes, when you look into each other's eyes, you see our influence on your genome. We created sight in you so that your sight could create sight in others. Our pupils of our eyes look very similar to your own. However, we are large and your eyes are smaller. It makes no difference. As to the size of the eyes, the genome, as you say, is still compatible. Our species and yours will one day meet out here amongst the stars. but not for a very long time. Our species is very different than your own. Yes, this is true. And yes, we are one. This is also true. But your human propensity to not always accept difference in others, and even in your own kind, would prohibit a meaningful relationship between our two species at this current moment in time. So, when your species has grown beyond the capacity of our species, this is when we will meet amongst the stars. Our home world resides in a galaxy far from yours. It is, as you say, near, and, he started to go into doublespeak. He goes, our home world is within the galaxy you call Andromeda. We are near the galactic core of that galaxy. We reside at a temporal apogeance of approximately 9 by 20,000 times your dimensional standard, or as you say, in the moment. We are a very mathematically based species which respond mostly to numbers, images, and also written languages, such as your English, though we cannot speak verbally. We can think it, and we can project any images outward with our eye. We also contributed to your pineal gland in this way, like a projector. This is why it projects the image of an eyeball as well. So therefore, whenever any seers, as you say, see this eyeball, you are also seeing our contribution to your brains. This is where I must now sign off, as you say.
Oh, wait for Marianne has a question for you, I think.
Well,
yes,
the thought's gone. It's been a while. The thought's gone, so I'm going to pass.
Oh, all right.
Well, thank you, my dear brother. Yeah, that was my question about the third eye too. So you read my mind, and Chris, you answered it for him. Thank you.
All right.
Marianne, if you remember, bring it in. Go ahead.
I have a new question. I wondered if any beings are here that could probably check on Mr. Kidd, his outfit. I mean, he's been having all these successes with Japan proving that it works and London being interested. But I am a little bit concerned that he's being offered a huge amount of money from the EU to set up a laboratory, and I'm afraid that this could be some trick to take away his rights and squash him. I don't know, and there's some confusion going on, and I was wondering if there was anything that we could do to check on Mr. Kesh and his organization out of Italy.
Good idea. Let's just check on the cash and the free energy situation going on, which is a good situation for the whole humanity. And we'll pray the highest good of that, the law of one over him and the free energy that he wants to bring out.
All right. I'm looking at him directly. I see that he is being watched quite a bit. Let me see.
In a good way or a bad way, or both ways?
Both.
Yep.
He's being watched by both parties. The cabal doesn't like him for obvious reasons, but the good guys are watching him extremely closely. And let me see here. Yeah, he has several cabal agents that watch him from a distance, and he has noticed a few people. He's not intimidated by them. I can tell you that right now.
That's right.
He's not intimidated by them. He knows
he's
what
full throttle.
I don't believe he will fall for something unless he would be telepathically tricked to do so. He has an extremely powerful core energy. So, and let me see. Oh, Tyler is here. He's telling me that Kesh has been approached by several different parties, all claiming to be false things, like I'm the representative of this country, I'm the representative of that country, and let me see. It looks like the Cabal has taken one of his devices and is going to try to make it fail somehow to make him look bad. Let me see here. Yes, it looks like they took it and they're trying to make it do something it's not supposed to do, so that he's blamed for it.
Well, we're going to take the Kesh and the free energy situation, and we're going to put it right now under the law of one, and we just pray for him, because when one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is compromised, all are compromised. And one is helped, all are helped. So we just ask that only the highest good of all concerned happen with him, Mr. Kesh, and all involved, all people involved, all machinery involved, and even the Kesh machines. Every single bit, morsel, known and unknown, involved in this Kesh energy, free energy project, under the highest good of all concerned. And we also pray for any other technology with the pure heart like Kesh, for the highest good of all concerned to happen. Every detail in every situation, known or unknown, understood or not understood, we pray for the highest good of all concerned.
Okay. Yes, I see. Yeah, I see other beings that are gathering near his position right now. It looks like he has Pleiadian attention as well. It looks like the grand majority of the good guy ETs that are near him at the moment are Pleiadian. The Elanulosians are hanging back and just watching, but like Tyler. But it looks like boots on the ground people are Pleiadian that are near him, and I'm seeing they're keeping the Cabal agents at bay. And it looks like the Cabal agents were trying to telepathically get him to take bad deals and to do things that he wouldn't have normally wanted to do. And it looks like the Pleiadians are keeping kind of a telepathic barrier around him, around his home and around himself, so that they don't influence him to mislead or misdirect. And on a side note, it looks like they were trying to do this to Corey as well, because it flashed to him for a second. They were giving me an example there. This same law one tonight applies to him as well. So
yeah, I heard Corey was having a hard time. I saw a comment with David, but now we just prayed for that too. Thank you for that.
Yeah, it just flashed in my head that they were doing the same identical thing to him. So. Let me see here.
And we
right here. Let me see. Right here in where I'm sitting right now, this big wave of flowery, rose-scented odor just came over me like a blanket of energy, and I'm being told it's being done to everyone on the call tonight too. That was like a blessing.
Oh wow. There's one more thing I want to go to is the water, the oceans, the biggest waterways, the oceans, and all waterways in the world. Since the astrology has for healing for water, we want to join in with that healing or anything that needs to be most significant in the scheme of all of our changes for the water tonight. Is there any beings that would like to bring anything that's on their hearts regarding waterways that's vital for this to continue to be going into the golden age?
Yes, the water is being dealt with. Looks like okay. Tyler wants to make a comment on this. He's saying the water is being he's using the word transmuted as well to be more akin to the new density. Any poisons that were included are being burned away with the new energy, and by other beings that aren't seen or heard very often, that cleanse waterways. I think we touched on this once before, quite a while back, with some angels that were really high density that were helping cleanse the water, and they told me that at that time, and Tyler is reiterating it, that the flow of water is always going to be constant, and that what is supposed to be in the water stays, and what is supposed to be removed is removed. And because he's telling me.
And I just want to ask Tyler, besides what's in water, anything under the water that, the bad boys, there's anything detrimental that we can use a law of one on as we collaborate with you?
He says the water, the cabal stations that are under the water are. He's kind of jokingly saying, he says they're mysteriously getting hit with earthquakes.
Oh.
And he's kind of being joking about that. And he says he's saying this in a sarcastic way. He goes, well, somehow it looks like their weather tampering equipment seems to be turning on them. And he's joking. He's kind of rolling his eyes back and forth. So he goes, I don't know how that could have happened. And
nice to hear from you, Tyler. Is there anything you want to bring in, Tyler, since you're here?
He says though those facilities were empty when they were messed with, that was more of a statement to the cabal and saying, don't mess with the water, don't mess with the air, don't mess with the elements. Tyler's people would not wantonly go after anyone violently. It was more of a statement, and it looks like he himself helped fix these water channels and also fault lines as well, so that the earthquakes weren't as damaging that the cabal created with the HARP technologies and all of that. So he went in and repaired some of the fault lines himself. Let me see here.
Thank you for that, Tyler. On a lighter note, how are you doing tonight, Tyler? How are you doing? We just want to talk to you just like two brothers, or brother and sister. How are you doing tonight? You doing good?
He says he is fine, and he is looking forward to the time where he can speak to everybody face to face, and he is reiterating this is soon.
Okay, Tyler, I know you got happy energies. Tell us a joke. You know what jokes are?
Yeah, oh yeah. He says he's very sarcastic too. Yeah, he's like my guide Simeon, where Simeon comes in and starts joking around, and he says, he's more or less giving instead of saying a joke, he's giving me the emotion of laughter that he's like spreading around in that way. And he says people in their bouts of creativity can create their own punchlines, as it were.
Come on. Oh, that was good, Tyler. You're creative. That was good. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
That was a multi-dimensional joke, but it was more than a joke, huh, Tyler? Wink, wink.
Yeah, multi-tiered joke there, yes. And see, he did it telepathically, and he just kind of aimed it at everybody. So, that's his way of joking around, too. I mean, he can do it the normal way, but I think he's well beyond knock-knock jokes. So, let me see here. And that actually made him laugh. So when I said that,
okay, you guys. Anybody out there that has a joke or a good saying for us, or a wisdom saying, come and share with us. Because we just want to just be being to being right now, and then we'll be done.
Okay, yeah, it's Tyler who wants to give a saying. So
Tyler, got you going, huh?
Yeah, now he's saying, okay. I'll write this down as I'm going. Okay. He says, speak in the language of laughter and forever know the hearts and minds of children at play.
Aw. I knew you had it in you, Tyler. Love you. Say that again, Chris.
Okay. He says, speak in the language of laughter and forever know the hearts and minds of children at play.
You like that, Chris?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good postable thing. And
Marianne,
goes,
I feel.
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead.
He just said he goes, "You better believe that is."
You better believe it is. I believe. I believe all things are possible, no matter what. What seems impossible is possible, with all of us working together, right, Tyler?
Yes. Yeah. He does. He's reiterating what he just said, and he's kind of. I wrote it down in a notebook, and he's just pointing to it. So. And okay, and I think it looks like he looks like he's bowing and backing off now.
Thank you, dear. Namaste. Namaste. Tell everybody hi. Marianne, I just feel like you want to come in and just say something to us, Diamond Network and all of the world, and we're getting to the end of the show here tonight. Marianne, are you still there? Star 6. Sometimes it takes a while to star 6. Or anybody else. Anybody that's on the other side, I think the room's open. If you want to come in and say hi, comment, bring anything in like a child or anything.
Hi,
come on,
it's Sunny.
It's Sunny.
Just wanted you all to know I'm here. I've been here all along. I was a little late getting on, but just appreciate everything that's being shared tonight very much. And my friend, as I have told you, my friend Merle Fankhauser is going to be coming on the Alternatives show in December. And wondering if there's anything Chris would like to add. I know he's talked about this before. You have the portal off the shores of Malibu, the portal where the sounds are coming from.
Oh, yes. Yeah. This was brought up also on a Ross Speaks episode about the crystal that was under the ocean, and I came to find out that it created that portal. Now, if the portal isn't shut, that would surprise me, but the crystal itself that originally created that portal is no longer there. It was taken, but it was interesting. It was a very powerful piece of equipment that was under the ocean from ancient Lemuria, and that's what was creating the portal, which was creating all the sounds and all the musical notes and everything that were coming out of it.
Yeah, so the crystal actually created all the sounds. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Wondering if they've heard anything since then. I guess I can ask him when I.
Sonny, just tell a little bit about your guest. Your guest is a musical. He's written lots of music, worked with a lot of people, has had different TV shows and media. Beautiful song. What is the name of that song I listened to last night? Calling from the Stars.
Calling from the Star. Yes.
Oh, and it's a galactic song. Yes. And he sang it on the top of the mountain.
Right. Haleakala Crater on Maui, and that was done in '77. And he's been interested and intrigued by UFOs and aliens all his life. And he's
a musical artist. So
yes,
he'll be on Sunny's show coming up December something. We'll announce it. Yeah, December 8th. Yeah.
He's had a very interesting life. And he's never spoken of actual contact with beings, but I think he just may not want to talk about it. So
maybe he is one. Who knows, right? There's
I think he could be. He could well be.
Is there anybody else that has a question or a comment? I didn't mean to cut you off, Sonny, but I just want to give everybody else a chance.
Sure.
Okay, Chris, Cynthia, everybody. Are we done? I think we're done. Are we?
Yes, I believe we are. It looks like everybody is bowed out for this evening.
Okay. Well, good night, everybody, and share the shows and share them again with yourself. And it was lovely. Keep shining, diamonds. Yes?
Lovely show, as usual.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yes, good.
Well, everybody on mute now. Star 6, everybody. Let's say good night together. Huh?
It was a great show, and Chris will be on my show Wednesday night. Come back.
Yep. Yes, I will.
Good night.
Good night, fellas.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Love you guys.
Love y'all.
Namaste.
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 Are you looking for healing or a change in your life to help you enjoy it more fully? You might benefit from a galactic energy reading and clearing from Chris Jacobs. Chris will work with you on a soul level to clear unseen negative influences, implants, programs, contracts, and energetic blocks. Chris Jacobs is a gifted energy healer. Contact him today at ChristopherStephenJacobs@gmail.com.